Hi everyone, it's Mr. M here with this week's phys ed lesson. First off, I just want to thank everyone for your excellent comments regarding the bike safety video from last week. You all had some great ideas about how to stay safe, and it seems like many of you learned some new ideas about safety from the video. Today, I'm here with a couple of guests. I have my son Frank along with his girlfriend Sage. They're going to be here. They're here today to help us out with some ways that we can challenge ourselves and improve with regard to balance. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on balance today, and they're going to be demonstrating some moves that can help us to get better at balance, and we're going to discuss why it's so important to have good balance. So I'll start off by saying that first, balance is very important for our health, for our overall health. We want to have good posture, and balance helps us with maintaining good posture, and that's going to keep our back and body healthy throughout our lives. Also, if you have good balance, you're less likely to fall, and obviously if you don't fall down while you're moving, you will avoid injury. So for our health, balance is very important. Secondly, having good balance is going to help us with all physical activity that we might participate in. Okay, so I'm sure you can think of something that you do that requires excellent balance. So whether it's sports, dancing, gymnastics, skateboarding, skiing, surfing, on and on, balance is really, really important with regard to physical activity. Okay, so these two are excellent athletes, and they have utilized balance throughout their competitive sports careers. Frank was a very competitive cross-country runner. So my question to Frank is, why is it important to have good balance as a cross-country runner?
Well, when you're running cross-country, you might be running on uneven surfaces, such as rocks. It might be muddy and slippery, so having good balance is important to not fall and stay fast while you're running.
Okay, and Sage was actually an Olympic level fencer, and I'm going to ask her, why is it important to have excellent balance as a fencer?
Yeah, so in fencing, you need to be able to attack your opponent and retreat really quickly in a unilateral way. So I'll just demonstrate that really quickly here. So that you'll be attacking your opponent and retreating, but that requires a lot of balance, being able to move in that unilateral way. So yeah, that's why it's important in fencing.
All right, so Sage and Frank are going to show us some balance moves, some yoga poses that we're going to go from easiest to hardest. And if you practice these moves, you will definitely improve your own balance. So we're going to start with a basic tree pose, which is just going to be balancing on one leg and putting your opposite foot against your balancing leg. You can have it up high like Sage, you can have a little bit lower like Frank. What you're trying to do here is maintain good posture, stay nice and tall, have a nice steady gaze or focus so that you are not moving your head around a lot. And as you can see, they're pretty good at it. So I'd like to see you guys practice this, and I know many of you are excellent at this pose because I've seen you do it in school. So that would be level one. Practice that. You would practice on both legs because you want to have balance on both sides of your body. And there are variations: raising your hands, putting your hands together in front of your body, and so forth. So you can see they can do this for a good long time, so they have pretty good balance doing the tree pose. So that would be level one. I would say that would be probably our easiest pose. Second, there's a pose called the dancer pose. It's a little bit harder. It's going to take some flexibility, where you're going to grab your opposite foot and lean forward and arch that back. So this is going to take a little bit more strength and flexibility. But once again, some of the same principles. We are keeping our head still. We're focused on a spot, and we're trying to center our body over our standing leg. So that would be the dancer pose, and that would be level two. And I'd like to see you all try to practice that and get better at that pose. Lastly, we have the most difficult, which is the Warrior 3 pose. So once again, you're on one foot and you're putting your leg back behind you and you're leaning forward and you're trying to get your upper body to be parallel with the ground. So you're really leaning forward. You can have your hands out in front of you like Frank, hands behind you like Sage. But that's a challenging pose that requires a lot of back strength, shoulder strength, core strength, as well as great balance. So these two are pretty good at that. It's going to take you guys a lot of practice to get to that point. So you know, when you have some spare time, try some of these moves. What I'd like you to do is number one, you've already done number one, you've watched the video, so that's great. I'd like you to send me a comment like you did last week about the video. Just tell me something that you learned today about balance. And that's all you have to do as far as a required assignment. There's an optional challenge that you can enter by clicking on the Flipgrid link and videotaping yourself and showing me your personal best. Okay, so you're going to show me what you can do at this time. What is your personal best? Is it level 1? Is it level 2? Is it level 3? How long can you hold the pose? But I'd like to see a videotape of you all trying these balance moves. So that's going to be explained in the instructions when you look at the assignment, and hopefully you'll have a lot of fun with this and improve your balance at the same time. So let's thank our guests and say goodbye. Frank and Sage, see you guys.